Hi lovers, hi, how are you guys doing? Hilma Daniel here. Welcome to my channel. Guys, I'm scared let me move a little bit closer because I'm scared our volume might not be too high due to the fact that looks like this is not working. Looks like it's not working. Um, but let me just move a little bit closer now. I've been a little bit too busy that I haven't been with you guys here, and I've been trying to get my body back in order. I was going through a little bit of something, and I'm good now. Yeah, I'm good now. I can talk to you guys. I've been good for a while, but I just also haven't been getting time to talk to you guys like that. Excuse my looks, excuse my hair. I'm gonna beautify myself for you guys some other times, not now. We need to talk, guys. You know, this topic is long overdue. There are things that I wanted us to talk about that have been happening, but I don't have time to sit and talk to you guys. I don't have time. I don't have time. Sometimes I'm just sleeping, sometimes I'm just, busy up and down, but it is life. In life, we've got the responsibilities, we've got things that comes up that needs us to, solve them. And the reason why I'm making this video, guys, I want us to talk about the situation of Annie. Is it Annie Dibia, Tubaba's wife? I want us to talk about that situation. And I don't want to talk about her as a celebrity. I want to critically analyze the situation, and I need to pick lessons for us as women. I'm so sorry that it's a public topic and we have to take lessons out of it. But you know what I always say to women and to people in life is that when you see someone's situation, we don't make fun of it, but we take lessons out of that, because life is a learning process, and we have to learn from experiences of other people. Of course, situations are never going to be the same, especially when it comes to relationship. Everybody, you are handed your own challenge. It's like when it comes to relationships, there's no exam. There's no exam where you go and graduate and you're like, okay, fine, now I am qualified. You are just given your test and you have to write it firsthand, and it's yours alone. The challenging part is that there are emotions involved. But well, let me take the lessons that I picked up that I think the next person can learn a thing or two from. Number one, let me talk to young children, because this lady started dating at the age of 15 and he was dating the 26-year-old guy. To me, I like to speak to young kids. You know, one thing about me is that I like to pass on life lessons to people that are close to me so that they don't repeat the same mistakes, because I feel like when people have been in relationships or marriages in a long time, they kept everything so close to themselves that they didn't pass on knowledge. When we went into relationships, we didn't know much what to look out for, what not to look out for. Though the internet have been here to teach us, there are specific things that you can still miss. Some you can master, some you can still miss, and you can still find yourself in a mess. However, if we continue to give lessons, the young generation is going to learn. For my ladies, let me give you advice to say that don't, when you are too young and over age, and before the age of 30, 25, if you believe you are matured enough and you have experienced relationships and you are financially independent, I want to put financially independent. Please don't date a person that is 5 years older than you. Yeah? Don't date a person that is 5 years older than you. And I'm going to tell you why. We can debate about it, but that is my opinion. Don't date a person that is too older than you. Why? Because that person is experienced when it comes to life and you are not experienced. Imagine you are 15 years old and you are underage. At least in our country, you are underage. Until you are 18 years old, you are underage. When you're underage, I would say don't date people that are bigger than you. They are going to make you do things that are not of your age. You are not matured. You are not financially independent. You are not. Your brain is not matured for such life challenges. As we grow, we face challenges differently. Trust and believe with age comes wisdom, comes experience of life, comes different ways of handling things. What could break me years back cannot break me now. What might break the next person might not break me now, because life makes us soldiers that we are today. So I want to tell you that sometimes somebody can wear a situation so well and somebody else cannot wear a situation so well. I've seen one woman that is wearing her situation so well, and you would think she's not going through something. And one thing that I picked up is that it's her maturity. She's very matured. It's her calmness. It's her faith. It's her financial, independence. It's everything. She have got it under control. And I want to say she have got the whole package, and that comes with experience because she's big. Now you are 15 years old, you are dating somebody who is 11 years older than you, that person can groom you. And I mean, they can groom you. And there is a little bit of a danger with first love that we need to tell you about, because I once experienced a situation where I loved a person so abnormally. I would love to call it a little bit of an obsession. Ne? Now that I am out of that situation, I'm like, I think you were obsessed. That guy didn't need to do so much. He goes, he comes back. I took him back. He goes, he comes back. I took him back. And that love felt like he is my world. My heart did those butterflies. With first loves, first relationships, you experience those butterflies, those things that happens in movies, and you believe that is it. As you go with experience, you learn to be in relationships with open eyes, with a brain that is thinking, with a heart that knows how to detach, because you have experienced detaching. That's why you see a lot of people say the first cut cuts very deep, and I want to believe Annie is still in this situation. So this type of loves, they require then a person that is matured. Of course, you might struggle to detach, and you might struggle to balance between emotional um intelligence on how to handle this men. But I just want to say that avoid dating men that are bigger. They will groom you, and when they groom you, it makes it very difficult for you to walk away. It makes it very difficult to when you're so much in love, and those first love, it makes it very difficult. You believe and think they are your own world, their world. You believe they are your soulmates, and you believe they are your forever. Yeah, they are everything. And you might just find yourself in a situation where it will be very difficult for you to detach, more especially if you get involved with a narcissist. Because I want to believe, when I'm observing the situation very well, she got a narcissist. Ne? Just be matured enough for the situation from the beginning before you are groomed. I think she was groomed. Ne? I just want to believe that this lady was groomed. Another thing that I picked up on allegations of drugs. Ne? I don't want to talk too much about being groomed, but I want to say that don't get into relationships. Getting into relationships when you are too young, you might find yourself making mistakes. Ne? I made a video on drugs, and I said, kids, please stay away from drugs. Please go and watch that video. And drugs is something that is very dangerous. You might see people doing it and they look okay, and they're doing okay, and it's just a matter of time until they capture you. Ne? Do more research on drugs. Ne? Do more research on drugs, and if we can, let us boycott these things. Sometimes I sit and I wonder who sells these things to people, But unfortunately, this is life. We are into the world with different intentions, different thinking. We are not built the same. However, if we can, please don't touch those things. They can mess you up. Not only drugs, may I talk about something which is addictions. Addictions can be drugs, addictions can be alcohol, addictions can be gambling, addictions can be anything. When I put other of these addictions into this category, I am not saying they were any situation. I am attaching them simply because there is the allegations of her being at rehab because she's in a bad state apparently, and she's trying to recover, and there is a drug addiction allegations in there. Ne? So I just want now to put other addictions in the category, to say that please try your level best not to become an addict. You need your brain thinking at all cost. Ne? You need to think. Another thing that I picked up in this relationship is that as people in relationships and as women, we need to learn detachment. Up until last year, I haven't really paid much attention to detachment. Is it last year or last of last year? I didn't pay much attention to detachment, and then I heard a lot of women here and there talking about detachment, and then I studied it, and then I paid more attention to detaching, and then I want to tell us as women that can we not love a man more than he loves us? Let us not love a man more than he loves us. If you find yourself in a situation where a man, you are loving a man more than he loves you, please do me a favor. Just do yourself a favor and just do more research on detachment. Detach your heart from him. Detaching your heart from a person who is mistreating you helps you see things clearer. When you see things clearer, it helps you think clearer. When your heart is involved into situations, you don't think properly. That's when you look at people that are educated, and you're like, but you are educated and you are reasoning like a fool. A woman in love. Ne? A woman in love. And this comes differently. I saw somebody who was judging a situation of mine yesterday, and I look at this person sometimes reasoning like a fool, because she's married but she loves somebody outside the marriage, and the way she reasons towards that whole situation, she thinks she's brilliant. But sometimes I look at her like, and I'm just just like but what I'm trying to say here is that when you are in love, you think you are making sense, but you're reasoning like a fool. And most of us have been there. Most of us have been there. As a woman, don't beat yourself up. If you find yourself in a bad situation, don't beat yourself up. Life is not perfect. Life have got challenges. Life have got, the road is not a straight road. Ne? But when you find yourself in a situation, please learn to detach. Don't love a man more than he loves you. The moment action speaks louder than words. Ne? And I need us to take that into consideration. When a person comes to you and they are showering you with this presence and confusing you, narcissists, you must also do research on how narcissists work. They're playing these mind games on you. So it's up to you to acknowledge that, okay, fine, now I am being played. Okay? When you acknowledge that now I am being played, when a person is playing you, that is not a person that loves you. To them, it's a game. Then now you sit back and say that, okay, fine, in a situation where I am played like this, my heart is in this mess. How do I pull it out? Slowly but surely, until you have yourself to yourself again. Ne? When you have yourself to yourself again and you can see things clearly, now you make the right decisions. When it is time to live, you are not living broken. You are living, I like a say that says that women heal in relationships before they leave. Before a woman finally says it's over, and those are brilliant women, they de-attach while still in a situation. When they move, they're gone for good. Ne? So learn to de-attach, learn to think, learn to strategize, learn to get your exit plan. When you are exiting, you are exiting for good. Ne? And if you are staying, ne? If you are staying, stay knowing that you don't lose yourself. It's very important. We cannot be in relationships or situations where we are losing ourselves. That is too expensive. If you find yourself losing yourself in a situation, then that is costing you too much. You cannot afford to be on the ground or to lose yourself because of a relationship. Ne? Another thing that I want to talk about here is that I understand that faith, né? May we be women with faith. You know, today morning I came across a quote on faith on somebody's status when I woke up, and I wish I had two phones so that I can read it for you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have two phones. I would have screenshotted it and then I would have, shared it with you guys as it is. Ne? It would have been better and good for me to share it with you guys. I can't remember it by my head, but it was a thing of saying, life have challenges, life have problems, but you carry problems better when you have faith. Ne? And this is something that I've picked up. I'm very observant and I'm in choirs. Ne? I'm in choirs, I'm close to church. There are people that I am really, 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 really close to that are close to God. And some of these people are big. I've seen big people facing challenges, serious challenges, not these small challenges. And I swear to God, I've seen maybe 3 people so far that have impressed me with their faith. Ne? The way they carry themselves, I'm always like, wow. Wow, you are such an inspiration, because how are you carrying this so well? And truth is the answer can only be faith. Carry your faith like a queen that you are. Don't walk around with no faith. Even if the world wants to confuse us otherwise, and carry your faith. Carry your trust in God. He directs us accordingly. Ne? Don't walk around thinking you alone can walk better. You walk better with God. Ne? Another thing that I want to say here is that kids, ne? One thing that I picked about Annie is that she loves her family and she loves her children so much. When divorces and separations and misunderstandings among parents affects children's name, and children's loves the people that kids loves the most and depends on other parents, ne? And they love their parents so much and they want to see what's good for their parents so much. And these 3 things that I spoke about above affects our children so much, ne? I need to drop it here to say that when we are in relationships and we are making babies, ne? In relationships and in marriages, I want us, I'm putting it a request to say that I want us to be open-minded and to put kids into consideration when we are making decisions. Ne? When we are saving marriages, may we have our children into consideration. When we are breaking marriages, can we have our children into consideration? Why am I saying when we are making or breaking marriages? Because marriages can be good for children. Marriages can be very, very toxic for children. Ne? But we want to make decisions that includes children. It makes me very, very sad when I see adults, us who are adults, who are already grown, who are already fully matured, who have mastered handling different type of situations, make decisions that are selfishly benefiting us, excluding children's. I see people reasoning, what about you? What about your happiness? And then the same question can be reversed to say, what about children's? What about their happiness? What about their brain maturity? They're not matured yet. If you throw a big problem on their brain, they might find it, they're not emotionally and matured to handle the situation that you're dropping on the table, and they're too young. How are they going to handle it? How are they going to handle it? It's okay. What about you? But you are a big person. You are matured. You know you are a big person. But what about them too? You know, it makes me very sad when I see people of nowadays. I think education is messing us up, in money is messing us up so much that we think we can be everything to kids without the other party. I want to believe that when God made a man and a woman, he made a man and a woman for a reason. And we both play our parts in kids' lives, and we are all important to kids' lives. And when kids are still young, they don't choose who is my favorite parent. And sometimes you might think you are the one, and you might not turn out to be the one. I was listening to this other lady's story that I'll make it very short. That the husband was raping kids in the house, and she divorced. Yeah, she divorced. Very, very valid reason to divorce, because it's a safety of the children's. And then one child who was young by then grew up. That child, I don't know whether it's a boy or a girl, the child was not assaulted by the father. And then that child, no matter how dangerous this man was explained to be, she is troubling the mother to say that, I want to see my father. I want my father. I want my father. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that when we are in situation, can we take time to listen to kids that did not grow up, or that did not get a father figure, to see how they are reasoning, so that we try to balance the situation for everybody. Ne? If it means we must master emotional intelligence in situations and keep the peace and try to raise kids, if you can handle it, can we do it? If we cannot handle it and you are losing yourself, the kids needs you, can you get out? Or if it's too toxic for the children, can you get out? What I'm trying to do is to say here is that, can we balance? Can we balance? Because I see we are putting ourselves first too much, excluding children. Can we try to include children into our equations? Okay. Number three, not number three, I have spoken about a lot of things. The other thing that I wanted to speak about is friends. You know, when I got married, one day I went with one of the elderly lady who's very, very matured in our choir. I think she was, I don't know whether she was selling something, or I went to pick up something. I don't know what I went to do in her office, but it was this thing of quickly going into her office and coming out. She's a married woman. And I went in her office. And when I went in her office, she said to me, when you have issues, marital issues, please speak to people that are matured and look for the right people to talk to. More especially, learn to trust your mother with issues of your marriage. And, you know, when she said this, I said, okay, ma'am, but you know, us being us, when people are saying this thing, we don't take it very seriously. I'm coming somewhere with this, yeah? Because I too happen to, you know, say my marital issues to the wrong people, and it made me think critically that there is a reason why people say talk to people that are matured, and more important, talk to people that loves you. Ne? Why is it so? I am coming to an issue of young famous and African. Annie opened up to the wrong people. about her marital issues. And that was in a show. When I look at this show is having a bunch of successful women and men that are they don't love each other, that hates it, they hate each other. They pretend to be friends. I don't know what type of friendship this is, because this is not friendship. If you are in real life and you are chilling with people like this and you call them your friends, this is not friendship. Number one, they tell on each other. You cannot have a secret with somebody and then they keep it. They are forever bashing one another. They are forever insulting one another. They are forever fighting. No, then what are we presenting to the world as African successful friendships with people? You gather together, you gather as strong women, and the best you do is fight. You don't talk about businesses, you don't talk about successful things for the next child to learn. As adults as they're fighting. I don't know whether it's a strategy for the movie or what. I don't know whether they're told fight, or I don't know. Maybe it's a strategy for the movie. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I want to believe so. But when it involves real issues of life, then it becomes worrisome. Why am I bringing this to the topic? I'm bringing this to the topic to say that may we watch who we talk to when it comes to our relationships. Because when you have got issues and then you open up, the end goal must be how well can this person help you save the relationship. You know, I've always been on the side of saving marriages. I've always been on the side of saving marriages. You can come to me with an issue, but when you come to me with an issue, I don't care how old you are. I will try my level best to help you solve the problem of the marriage. I love marriages. And in most situations, I always ask people, how are the kids? And it's so sad to hear that in most cases, their response are, kids are affected. Ne? Now, let me talk about an issue of opening up to wrong people. Annie, in the first season, she opened up to the wrong people. And when you open up to the wrong people, when these people are advising you, they don't advise you like people that loves you and care for you. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I just experienced something in my life. And when I experienced it, I'm like, actually, you know, in life, I like to learn. I learn a lot, more especially about life lessons, because there's no manual. When something happens and I'm like, oh, so actually that's why this woman was saying this. Now I get it. When we are advised to open up to people that are more especially loves us and cares for us and are matured, and very important, are Christians. Why am I saying they're God-fearing? Because this union of marriage is a union of God. He created it. We can only stand on it on the grounds of God's principles. We cannot live the way we want. It's a God's union. God created it. That's why when we are getting married, where do we go? To church. We go to God to ask for blessings and. So when we are in these marriages, we must try our level best not to let go of God's hand. So very important, try also to get God-fearing advice. Don't get advice from people that are not God-fearing, that are just living life anyhow. They just run their mouth. Sometimes they run their mouth. There are some times where they make sense, but sometimes they just run their mouth, you know. So what she did is that when she opened up, when these people are insulting them, when insulting her, of course you can lose it. But when somebody comes for your marriage and says to you on a public television, my husband is better, my boyfriend is better, he cannot be compared to that two-face what of yours, the cheater of yours, and worse, I think introducing the husband to the show was a mistake. It was a mistake to me analyzing it, because she knew what her husband was. And the husband also embarrassed her on social television, because the husband was like, yeah, you know, wherever I am, you know, you can love somebody, but when your dick stands somewhere, you know, just, you know, the way the guy is talking, we know our husbands. One thing about us, we know our husbands. We know our husbands more than anybody else because we stay with these people every day. So most of the time, if you are having a topic, a discussion, and you know that your husband can handle it, if you know that as a wife you can't handle it or take it, give it to the third person to say something. That's in a case where you are in public and you have to give a speech and you don't know that my husband is not for speeches. You try to cover him. You try to be like, you're going to embarrass me. So I cannot take it, but let's see how we can, you are a manager of your own home. You you know, God says ke rumo te kupongkwathi ekoparera. Ne te kupongkwathi ekoparera, and God can give you what you can handle. If God gives it to you, he believes and understands you are a strong soldier to carry this marriage. So carry it with pride, carry it with wisdom. Go to the feet and ask for wisdom, and ask for guidance, and ask for ondunge no madhiradhiro, and some of these things they only hit nice when I go in my language, eh? Yeah, but when I'm speaking this English, they try to disappear. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think Annie was not gonna be okay in this marriage, but I think public humiliation might have contributed also to that marriage going on the ground. Because when the public is making so much noise, it affects people. These people, we look at them like they're celebrities, but they're human beings. They're human beings. I think her opening up about her marriage issues in that show was a problem. If she wouldn't have done that, she wouldn't have divorced her husband. I want to believe that cheating was never an issue to Annie. We have got situations where people cheat in relationships and they don't have problems. They speak this issue out, and then they continue, they forgive each other, the homes are better, and then they move on. Or somebody is a cheater, and then the woman admits that, okay, fine, you are a cheater, but I'm not going to leave my cheater, but then the woman is good. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying we have relationships that are still surviving, but men are cheating. If you go into the world and do a survey or research, that's why you see that in the world where we are right now, there's a bunch of slay queens that are so proud and speaking so loudly. Who is sleeping with those slay queens? Who is sleeping with those people? They are our husbands. They are our boyfriends. And if we are to take a statistics and take wives, knowing or unknowing, and then we go into the men's phones today, and then we say that we are doing a random check, on most of the husbands, chances are very high most of the husbands are gonna fail the test on the cheating side. Whether we can sit in denials and say my husband does not cheat, my husband what you did not catch him yet, as a wife, having a confidence that my husband does not cheat is another level of confidence. Not all men cheat. I want to say that, but a lot of men are cheating, and I don't know why. We need men to tell us honestly why, what's going on. We need to understand, because a lot of men are cheating. We get this a lot because a lot of women are complaining about this. Now, we do have people like Promise Makunyane who have publicly came out to say that, I am not going to leave my husband for cheating. And she is saying that I have forgiven my husband for cheating. Promise came out to say something that a lot of women don't have the guts to say. But cheating is not a break. It's not a deal breaker for marriages for a lot of women. Men are cheating. Men are making kids outside marriages, but women are still in those marriages. I already spoke about taking care of yourself and not losing yourself, using condoms and protecting yourself when necessary. Not in this video, in some of the videos. But I want to say that cheating is not a deal breaker for for some women. Yeah? And I want to believe this was the case for Annie. And it's her choice. It's a choice, we are not gonna now force her or stand up and say leave, because that's what she believes in. In conclusion, because I don't want to make this too long so that we go too far. Let us not love men more than we love them, because sometimes even if you are not leaving and you are losing yourself, they are gonna find a silly reason to dump you. Like when I read one of the two Babas what a published statement, I don't know whether it's an allegation or it's a true one. It says that I want a woman that is challenging. I don't want a woman that is too says yes to everything and too attached to me. In what we picked up is that Annie loved this man so much. We could see. We could, we know when a woman is in love. I know when a woman is in love. At least with my eyes, I'm like, oh, you love him too much, shame. You love him too much. And I'm wondering if you are thinking, but it's okay. It's part of life. Love have different types of stages, and sometimes it makes us not think and go crazy. We are just saying that we cannot afford to be in those type of relationships, because if we fall, we are gonna fall really, really hard. Now, what I'm saying is that don't let a man love you. Don't love a man more than you love him. And I am going to, don't lose yourself. You cannot afford to lose yourself. I love the fact that no matter how successful Tubaba was, which was her husband, she woke up and she refused to be a housewife and she decided to work. Let me say something. I wanted to say something that I wanted to say something. Why am I forgetting something when I want to conclude? Yes, I love the fact that she worked. She was a working wife. She didn't choose to. So she didn't make too many mistakes. The only thing that she did is she opened up at the wrong place. That thing can mess you up if you're not strong. She opened up at the wrong place, and which was the show, the international show. She was not supposed to attach her marital issues there. Cheating to her was not an issue. I don't want to believe cheating was an issue. And maybe the addiction, which addiction can mess you up whether you are in a relationship or not in a relationship. Addictions messes people up. And maybe loving a person too much without, this is what I wanted to say in conclusion. In conclusion, I want to send all of us as women, go on TikTok. There's a lady called Cuddly Baby. I started watching Cuddly Baby last year. I came across her last year, and I've learned so much from Cuddly Baby. Cuddly Baby is advising us to respect our husbands and not to love them. Let them love us. Our job is to respect them. And she says quite a lot of things that are making sense to me. Ne? I want to say that go there. Listen. When you are listening to people and advices, you must filter. You don't take everything. You filter and take what is important and use it and work with it. So go to her page and pick up what you can pick up from her. I love her strategy. I think it will work for most of us if we follow it. So please go to Cuddly Baby. She's a South African lady. She gives advices on relationships, and she is not advising us to be too touchy with men. She wants us to distance ourselves, to think, to be successful, to be everything, but our job must be to respect our husbands, because we also have got roles in relationships and marriages that we have to do, but we cannot do that clearly if we are too attached. And when this man makes mistakes, it might make it very difficult for us to do our duties. And I think also when it comes to the Bible is asking us to respect our husbands, and it's asking our husbands to love us. I think we must go back. I think when it comes to the Bible, it's a book that is guiding us very, very well. Let us not throw it away. Let us keep it very, very close to us in our marriages. May God bless marriages. May God save marriages. May God help us build homes so that we can, raise kids in our homes. May God, help our homes to be peaceful and, good homes so that we can raise our kids in them. And dear men, can you please listen listen to our cries. Please listen to our cries. If we are complaining that you are hating us and you are supposed to be loving us, can you please work on it so that you love us better, so that homes are better for our children? The end goal is for our bundles of joy to be raised in homes with love. Ne? Please hear us. If we are taking these lessons to us women, and be open-minded, and also look at yourselves and see what can you learn that you think have broken us as women, more especially when you look into this situation. You can look at, I can summarize a few things for you, which is number one, don't influence us into bad decisions that you do. Don't date us when we are too young, when you don't have good intentions with us. Don't embarrass us like that, not in public, not in private. Cheating it hurts. Cheating hurts, and it messes us up. So please try to be faithful. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I'm trying to, you know, do more research and understand what is it with you men. Why can't you be faithful? I'm failing, but I'll continue to, you know, do more research and understand that what's wrong. Is it a choice? Is it really something wrong there by creation? What is wrong? But you guys also need to come. You can come in the comments down below and really tell us as men what really is wrong with you guys in cheating. It's breaking homes, and if it's breaking homes, you guys need to work on it. It's not something nice. It brings diseases to the house. These diseases can infect our children as well, and they can kill us, all of us as parents, and we can make our kids orphans. You know, another thing also that I picked up is that as men also try to be God-fearing. Don't throw away God and think you are cool without God. Don't walk without God, and love your wives. Ne? When you choose to marry somebody, we choose to say forever and forever, and we don't really get married to divorce. Ne? When we get married to you, we love you. Ne? And we do not want to be in marriages mastering how to not love our husbands. We want to love our husbands. We want to love, you know, our husbands. But when you are not treating us right, it makes it very difficult for us to love you as women. So please learn a thing or two also, and let's have good marriages. Let's save marriages. And also another thing that you must learn is that when you are busy with too many women, they might mess you up. They might mess you up, not only in the brain, but you know, people have different things that they come with. So those spirits that you are collecting there, they're not nice. They're not nice. And in conclusion, may we save marriages. May we learn a thing or two from this whole marriage. Let us not make fun of people in situations. Ne? And let us not ask her, why didn't she leave early? She could have left early. She could have. This life, this journey that we walk in, ne? This journey that we walk in, everything happens at whatever time that it's supposed to happen. What is meant to be will be. What is not meant to be might not be. You know, everything is in God's hands. We don't know how tomorrow is going to turn out. And when you are in a situation, it might look easier for you outside, but it might be very, very difficult for her. She have her reasons as into why she stayed in that marriage for too long. But on the outside, we don't know nothing. Ne? We only know what have been exposed to us, and we can only learn from what have been exposed to us. But truth is, we might not know exactly what happens inside there. The other thing that I forgot is I saw a video of Annie circulating on in-laws. As women, I want us to understand that families that we are marrying into, those are not our people. The more you understand that, the better. Those are not all your people. They don't owe you love. The only thing you can do is protect yourself so that you make sure that you are not being abused by them. But apart from that, don't expect love from them. They are not your people. That's when I say, learn to love where you are coming from. Love from home. It's real. It's authentic. Is that even the right word? It's original. The way I love my family, I want to believe love from home is the best. I love my parents. I love my siblings so much. that we have each other's backs like this. And when we have got situations, we really try to be there for each other like this. So love from home is the love that you must always, 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 always put as number one. The other one, if it comes, well, good for you. If it does not come, don't beat yourself up. It's part of life. They are not your people. That's it from me, Hilma Daniel. If you have learned a thing or two from, please comment down below. And if you know have some lessons also that I didn't pick up, please share them with me. So I had to share lessons. Why? Because we are saving marriages. I am a woman that wants marriages to be saved. Why? There are children into this mess that we are creating. I'll talk to you guys and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.